Hello everyone. Let's talk about repulsion motor. Okay, now see this motor. It is a single phase induction motor, the type of a single phase induction motor, but the construction, overall construction is very different from general single phase induction motor. Like we just learn stator pole and squirrel cage rotor. So this type of construction is not available for a repulsion motor. Now let's talk about the construction of a repulsion motor. Now when I am talking about the construction of a repulsion motor, of course I am going to show you the poles over the stator available. But the stator, now I am going to show you the poles. Okay, now this is what non-salient pole. Non-salient pole which is available over the stator of a repulsion motor. Now these motor having a single phase winding. These poles having a single phase winding. So generally we draw a diagram like this, but there are not only 2 poles or 4 poles is available over the stator. So stator is having distributed winding. The stator having a lot of poles over there, and the winding single phase winding only, but which is distributed, right? I'll going to show you some pictures. Okay, you'll get understand by this by the looking at the pictures. Okay, now see, you can draw the diagram like this, but the rotor, till now we learn about the squirrel cage rotor, right? But the rotor available for this repulsion motor, which is different rotor. Different, it means you learn about the DC machines and DC motors. The DC motor having a construction of a rotor, the same rotor we use in repulsion motor. Now it means there is a conductor winding, or there is a winding over the winding available over the rotor like this. Suppose from the front view you can see like this, the winding is like this, and which is connected to the commutator, now all these terms you have to learn it from 11th DC motors chapter. You can get the idea from it, and I hope you have learned already the DC motors. Sorry, this is what the construction of your repulsion motor rotor, right? Now one more thing I need to add, there is a brushes available over here. Brushes are like this, inclined. Okay, inclined means it should have some angle. These are the brushes over the commutator. But only one difference in a DC motor rotor, and in a repulsion rotor is available. You have to just short these brushes. You have to just make a short circuit by the conductor, or you can say low resistive material. By the conductor or low resistive material. I can show you like this, or like this. Okay, this is what the low resistive material, or just a conductor, I am putting across these two brushes, carbon brushes. So this is how I am going to short it, right? So this is what the general construction of your repulsion motor. Okay, now how does it going to work? Let's talk about the concept of its working. But this is what the general construction for the repulsion motor available. Okay, now across these two, of course you need to give, or you have to provide a single phase AC supply. So this winding is a single phase winding only. This is what the type of a rotor available for this repulsion motor, and the brushes has to be shorted brush. What type of material? Carbon brushes is available, and these carbon brushes you need to short with the low resistive material, or a conductor. With the conductor you have to just short it, right? So this is what the construction for your repulsion motor. Now let's talk about first the concept of the working of this repulsion motor. Okay, and then we'll talk about some different condition of the working. You will get to know. Okay, let's move forward. talk about working of a repulsion motor. Now see, I hope you all have seen the pictures, and from that you all get and understood what exactly the construction of a stator, how does it look exactly, what exactly the distributed winding, and what exactly the rotor look like, right? Now I'm going to explain you some concept. Okay, now what exactly the concept? See, suppose this is what the stator, and this is what the stator, right? Now stator having some conductor over here. Okay, stator having some conductor. Right, like this. Okay, now here I told you have to give it a single phase AC supply. This is nothing but a single phase induction motor. So you have to, of course, you have to give it a single phase AC supply to these conductors. Suppose current is started flowing like this and coming out like this, going inside and coming outside, right? Now again, based over the right hand thumb rule, right? Right hand thumb rule. This is what the direction of the current. This is what the magnetic field, right? Magnetic field. See, when current is going like this, going inside like this, based on the right hand thumb rule, right? So this is how you will get the EMF induced, right? The exactly direction of the direction of your EMF induced will be like this, which is coming out, which is here it will going inside, right? Coming out, it means you have to show it with the dot, right? And which is coming out from here, it means it will become cross, right? Coming out here, going down, cross, right? Or you can say this is what the magnetic field direction, right? Now see, here there is again a rotor available. This is what the rotor inside the stator, right? And over the rotor also there are conductors. Okay, now there are again some conductors. Now this motor, the concept of this motor, working of this motor, which is depend on the concept of transformer action. When there is a changing magnetic field, you are putting some another coil nearby that coil, nearby the changing magnetic field, it will again going to induce an EMF, right? Now suppose current is started flowing the winding at the winding which is available at the stator, and you are putting another winding or another rotor winding which is nearer, of course, which is nearer to the stator only, right? Now just because of that, there is a transformer action happen, which is again going to induce an EMF, right? Or you can say, in a changing magnetic field, you are putting some another conductor. There will be again what will going to happen, transformer action takes place, which will EMF will going to induce or mutually induce EMF, right? So by the mutual induced EMF, here again the EMF will going to induce, but the direction of the EMF, which is produced over here, which is of course the oppose the cause of its production. This is how the Lenz's law is, the cause of oppose the cause of its production, then the oppose the cause of its production, then the direction which is of course the opposite to this direction. It means here there is a dot, you will get a cross over here, right? Here you will get the dot, right? Cross and dot, right? Here dot, you will get cross, here there is a cross, you will get dot, right? So here again there is a commutator, right? This is what the commutator available over the rotor. Now over this commutator there is a carbon brushes, right? Like this. Now see, till yet there is a EMF is available, but across each and every conductor. But this circuit is not closed circuit at all. When it will going to close, that time the current started flowing through the circuit. But right now it is not closed circuited, right? Now see, you have to just short this carbon brushes with the help of conductor, or you can say low resistive material, right, like this, or low resistive jumper, you can say. This is what the jumper, they call it a jumper, low resistive jumper. Okay, now with the help of a low resistive jumper, we are going to short this carbon brushes. That time the circuit of this rotor will get closed and current started flowing through the circuit. Now when the current started flowing through the circuit, there is again a magnetic field we are going to produce, that will again going to something different or opposed to the stator magnetic field, right, which is again based on the Lenz's law, right, oppose the cause of its production, right. Now see, the thing is, here is a position of the brushes, here I put a angular brushes, right. You can put the vertical, you can put the horizontal, but I only put it like this, angular. What happen if I put it vertically or horizontally? What is happen exactly when I am going to put like this? So we'll see these three conditions when I am going to put vertically, horizontally and angularly. What exactly is going to happen to the rotor? Let's see and let's discuss about it. Okay. I already draw three diagrams, and I already show three different position of this carbon brushes. This is what the vertical, this is horizontal, and this is diagonal, or you can say angular, right. Now let's talk about condition number 1, figure number A, or figure A, right. See, when I am going to supply it with the single phase AC supply, right. Here we have already discussed that the working, here the stator and there is a rotor conductor will produce a cross and dot. We will again going to show, because this is just an example. If suppose there is a cross, there will be the dot. Of course, when the production of EMF is cross over here, because in the next half cycle it will be cross, then here it will be dot, right. We are just taking an example, so we'll put it likewise only. Okay, we'll put it likewise. Here suppose there is a cross, okay, and suppose there is a dot, whatever. Okay. Now here again I didn't show here a jumper, right. Now when I am going to connect it, right, a jumper like this, okay, a jumper, this is what a low resistive jumper or a conductive jumper. When I am going to connect it like this, right, a current started flowing through the rotor winding, and just because of the current available here, it will again going to produce a magnetic field. Of course, when there is a current, there is a magnetic field. A magnetic field will going to produce. Now it will going to oppose the cause of its production. Now suppose at the moment or at the instant there is a north pole available, right, and when there is a north pole, there is of course a south pole available. When there is a north pole, so it will of course here the magnetic field is going to generate, that will going to opposite to the opposite the cause of its, opposite the cause of it. It means the same magnetic field going to produce, same magnetic pole will going to produce nothing but a north pole only. So here it will again going to produce a north pole. Now see, this is what the magnetic axis, you can say. This is your magnetic axis. This is magnetic axis, and this is your brush axis. So magnetic axis or main axis, you can say, and brush axis. Main axis or brush axis are exactly over the same axis. It means the action over here, which is 180 degree opposite to each other. 180 degree opposite to each other. It means the resultant force, it will become zero only. Resultant force, right? This is exactly opposite to each other. It will going to repel each other. That time the force which is acting over here, which is exactly equal to zero, which will not going to act at all. That's why there will be no any kind of movement happen. So this type of construction or this type of position we can't put like this. This kind of position of the brushes we can't use it, right? So this is what your first position, first condition, right? Let's talk about the next condition, next figure. Suppose figure B. Let's talk about figure B. Okay, there is again I am putting different position of your carbon brushes. Now position is a horizontal. First is a vertical position. Now exactly horizontal 90 degree you can say, or perpendicular to the main axis. This is what the main axis or magnetic axis, right? Now this is what your brush axis. Okay, now see, when I am going to supply it, first I have to just show a jumper, low resistive jumper, or you can say conductive jumper, right? When it will going to connect. Now when I will going to apply, or I will going to provide a single phase AC supply, the current started flowing through the circuit, magnetic field will going to produce, and here again I can show the likewise EMF will going to induce here, which is suppose cross over here, cross, okay, and here is a dot. Okay, now see, in this condition the EMF available here, the EMF available at the magnetic axis, if you can see magnetic axis and brush axis, see here in this part the equal quantity of cross and dots, or equal number of positive and equal number of negative EMF potential is present. That's why the resultant EMF, of course it will go into zero, because there is a equal number of positive and negative EMF, or equal number of positive and negative potential is present. That's why of course it will going to cancel it out, and total EMF will be available at this condition will be equal to 0, and that time when EMF is 0, current will go into 0, and when current will go into 0, there will be no any kind of magnetic field will produce, and no any kind of magnetic field is produced. That's why your rotor will not going to rotate at all, right? It will be going to become standstill, or in this condition you can say there is a no current. It means the rotor circuit become act like a open circuited. So you can't put the brush axis like this, or perpendicular, or you can say horizontally, right? Now these two conditions failed. This A and B conditions are failed. Now let's talk about the next condition, condition C. Okay, see, in this condition, or the brush axis is angular, right? Brush axis is angular. See, this is what the brush axis, and this is what the main axis and brush axis. So there is an angular. Now when you can put the same, you have to connect it with a jumper, low resistive jumper. Okay, you have to connect it with a low resistive jumper, right? Now I'm going to show the same thing, EMF induced here. Suppose a cross, and here suppose 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, dot. Okay, dot. Suppose here is a cross and there is a dot. Okay, now see, when you can see in this area the potential available, suppose positive and negative potential available, because of the cross there is a highest potential of cross and there is a highest potential of dot. It means there is a potential difference. It means there is a EMF is available. It means your current started flowing through the circuit. Now the magnetic field will going to produce, of course, like it will going to oppose the main magnetic field. Suppose there is a north, so because of this the main flux will go, the direction of the main flux will be like this. It means it is coming out and going inside here, coming out and going inside here. The coming out, it means there is a north pole formation and there is a south pole formation here. So here you can say there is a north pole formation, there is a south pole formation, right? Now suppose there is a north, there is a south, right? Then it will going to repel each other. it will going to repel each other and it will move like this, now after completing half cycle, see there is a cycle like this, AC cycle like this. So after completing half cycle, this north will become south, and this south will become north, right? That time here the dot will be cross and cross will be dot. That time the magnetic field is again going to change. That will become, suppose it will become, and there is a north, there is again north. Okay, there is north, there is again north, and when there is a south, there is again south. It will again going to repel. So it means each and every half cycle there is a repulsion happen, and this is how your rotor start rotating, and this is how the starting torque is generated. Now if you look at closely, look at this diagram or look at this condition closely, each and every half cycle there is a repulsion is happening. It means there is some force is acting over your rotor at each and every half cycle. It means there is a each and every time there is a pushing is happen at your rotor. Pushing is happen every time, pushing is happen at your rotor, right? It means each and every time the force or the rotor is trying to increase its speed. So it means the speed of this rotor or speed of this repulsion motor, it is very high speed, or you can run this motor more than synchronous speed. You can run this motor more than synchronous speed. So of course there are again some different kind of application which is based over this thing, because the speed is very high. So some application required very high speed, right? Very high speed. At those application you can use the repulsion motor, right? So some application like, see, you must have seen mixing machine, again floor polishing machine, even very high speed required where the cutting is happening. So in a cutting machine generally repulsion motor is available. Suppose there is a something wood cutting, wood cutting machine, grass cutting machine. So a cutting machine repulsion motor is there. Again some compressor, sometime lifts, some lifts also having your repulsion motor. Okay, now understood this fact, see the speed is very high. So speed is very high, it will going to increase and increase again and again. It means the speed control of this motor, it is difficult. So we need some extra circuitry to control the speed. So it means this is what the disadvantage is. Because we just have to increase the circuitry and this will going to increase the cost, right? So this is what the repulsion motor is. Okay, I hope you understood all the facts from the repulsion motor, right? Thank you.